We are live. Dun dun dun. Hopefully, we get some people on the live. Hopefully, someone comes on here soon, guys. Just me. Just seeing what everyone's doing. It's my normal Saturday live video. Apparently, no one's watching. At least from what I can see on here, anyways. Not much to talk about if no one's on, so. Guess it is what it is. We will see. We'll give it a few minutes, see if anyone else decides to show up. Hey, Harry, how's it going? I was wondering if anyone was going to show up. Sitting here and no one's online with me, so. Things going good up there for you, Harry? How's the weather and everything up there? Is it going good? Or I know we've had a huge heat wave and it is in the 90s, and then the humidity's in the upper 80s, so it feels miserable. I've been busy with my hot dog cart. That's pretty cool. So have you been working on what we talked about before, getting the video stuff set up and doing all the setup for that? You're going to be really busy next weekend with 4th of July, aren't you, with the hot dog cart? That'll be a good weekend for you. I've had a pretty busy last 2 weeks, actually, getting just things done around the shop, setting up the small stuff around the shop in here, and dealing with inventory, direct to film stuff. Were you still looking at the direct to film stuff, Harry? going to send you a picture of it. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Hey, BM Pam, how's it going? Yeah, if you will do me a favor, Harry, when you send me that photo, so because I'll be able to look at it then. Do me a favor when you send that. Sorry, I got all these different phones sitting here. Send me your mailing address again, Harry. Hey, Raquel, how's it going? If you do, Harry, I'll send you just so you can try one of these direct-to-film, because I know you were asking about them before. And I'll send you a sample. Hey, are you just getting started? Yeah, I'm just getting started, Pam. I got on here right around 8:30, so I'm just starting out. Hey, Greg, how's it going? Greg Lopez. I had a late start. I've been busy, Pam, working on a lot of different things I've got in the works. I've got did a bunch of videos, unboxing video, bought a bunch of other stuff. Don't know what all I'll show because some of it's not screen printed related. It's just random stuff that I do and businesses I work on. But I might. I mean, it's interesting to some people, other ones it's not. And then filming it is a little tricky on some of the other stuff. So, but it's just some of the other stuff I've been doing, been kind of keeping busy. How's the shirts going, Pam? Because I know you've been pretty busy with the shirt orders left and right. How's things going with you, Raquel, also? And hey, what's up? Fernando, sorry. Sorry, Fernando. I am very bad at names, so please forgive me. Yeah, let me grab one of these real quick. Here's one of the things that I had. This is just a small one, nothing super fancy or anything. It's like a left chest size, though. Just a little heat transfer thing. Do you think Amazon screens are any good? I bought 12 brands from a guy on Marketplace. They've got what is that? Gold Up, I think it's called. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them on a lot of places. I believe they're on Amazon. Well, they used to be on Amazon. They're on eBay, Pam, and they have their own store. They're not too bad. The tension, I've got some of them. They come in fairly decent. I mean, they're not the world's best, but for the price of the Gold Up ones, they do the red adhesive glue around it. They're not too bad, believe it or not. Depending on what you want to do, like the thing too is, as you've seen when we've been in all these other discussions, most people that screen print, like I've showed it in that video when I was out in the shop, where I've got a Newton meter. I've got two of them actually, and a Newton meter measures the tension on the screen. So it's not many people, or sorry, I get sidetracked. Not many people use them. I use them, but that's how you tell how much tension's in the screen, how much kind of is left. Because when it gets so low, you either you're not going to get good registration in them. But for instance, if you're doing a one color job, a white shirt, and you're only doing like maybe one coat, you don't even have to worry about it. But what I was going with that is most people don't really check their screens. They just tap them. It's not really the correct way to do it. But for the price that you pay for some of them, like I bought some Gold Ups just to give them a shot. They're not bad. They're not as good as some I would get from some of my other vendors. But some of my other vendors, like I bought some really nice ones from some really local vendors. And the local vendor ones that I ended up getting actually, and I mean, they restretch them, retension them. they were actually really bad. And I'm not knocking them. It just might have been a bad batch when they did them. They got in a rush, but they were not nowhere near as good as some of even the gold ups I've got. So, I mean, when I talked to them, they took care of it and remeshed them for me and got it taken care of that way for me. But the gold ups, I haven't had too many issues with them. I normally, I've got another vendor I buy locally from too, though, that's about the same price as the gold up. You can do the trade-in thing once you get enough screens. You just got to find a local place, because I've got one local one, but he's always backed up. There are other places you can send them to, but if you're going to have to send them out, it's really not cost effective, because, like, for instance, Juan's got one right near him, and it's, I think, an hour or two from Juan's house. But if I have to send them all the way to Texas, I'm losing money on the shipping. So you got to just kind of, if you find someone that can remesh them in your area, remeshing screens are good. New screens, you can find good deals on them. Even all your local vendors, not what I call local, but even all your big suppliers that could be local to you, like Ryan, that's not local to me, but they have distributors. Atlas Screen Printing Supplies. What's up, Ryan? How's it going? But Atlas is one of my local ones. They're actually in Nashville, so the shipping is super cheap. They give me free shipping on, I think it's over $200. Or I can go pick them up. They're 45 minutes away. So that's another nice feature, is that if I need to, I could drive and go get them. And their price, when they run sales, they're actually cheaper than any place I can find. It's just they don't always run sales. And then the other thing, when they do have the good deals on them, a lot of times I'm not able to go pick them up because they don't have them at that location. They're at their other location. The nice thing is with the free shipping, they will ship them up to me from the other location, so it's not bad. But yeah, I would give them a shot, Pam. Let me know what you think about it when you get them in, and give them a try. But yeah, screens are a thing. You'll find meshes that you like better. You'll get used to it, and then you'll get to tell too when you screen print it a lot without even using a Newton meter. You can get a feel of, you're like, oh, this screen, I'm losing registration all the time. And you'll be able to kind of get a feel for how that mesh feels, how much tension's on it. And kind of when it gets so bad, then you'll see, okay, I can only use it for this now, before I have to more or less scrap the mesh and have it remeshed, or scrap the screen. But it's something, like I said, and this, if you're doing something that's high-end precision, a Newton meter, you want everything within that small window of each other. Most people don't do that, though, so you don't have to worry about that. But it is a nice device. They're pretty pricey, though. I wouldn't just go out and buy one, though. What kind of vinyl cutter do you have? I have a Graphtec Fernando, but the one in the one video was a U.S. Cutter, I believe, from U.S. Cutter. Or Sign, yeah, U.S. Cutter or Sign Warehouse. It was one of their plotter cutters. What I would do, Fernando, if getting a plotter or cutter, for instance, if you're not needing to do contour cutting, which is where you re-register your film, it's U.S. Cutter, I believe. They have amazing deals on a 24-inch one. You can get one of them cheaper than you can even a Cricut or Silhouette or a Cameo, and they are really good for that. You can't beat it. It's 24-inch, so you don't have to worry about media size. So you can put roll media in it and not have to worry. You can buy, like I said, on the Oracal 361, your vinyl for car decals or whatever you want to do, little stickers that way. You can buy the roll of 24. You don't have to buy a 12-inch wide roll, so you can cut whatever one. Yeah, Rye, I got your text. I was watching some videos last night all about that stuff. I Googled it and I wanted to see more about it. And so I seen quite a bit of stuff on it. I'm going to look at that place that you sent and try to get one out. But I looked at a bunch of the different things that they had about them. I did hosted mini donut challenge. Yeah, I threw up. See, the Hostess Mini Donuts, so them things can be pretty hard and rough, so it can be kind of challenging. George said, I ordered a sample from 2 print-on-demand companies. The prints look more towards the modern vintage look, like someone added texture to my original artwork. Was it... Because, see, George, a lot of people, too, that do the print-on-demands, a lot of them are using direct-to-garments. And like that, I don't have that shirt on today, but that one that I have, there is they use a direct-to-garment and direct-to-film, depending on the print company, can be the same ink. I'll just say that way. Hey, Juan, what's up? How's it going? Some people, there is ink that's made just for the direct-to-film. It's a little bit different, but you can use the direct-to-garment ink. But what it is a lot of them, George, what they do is they're doing what I would say the cheapest way to get through. So you can adjust how much ink levels go down, how thick it is, how thin it is, the opacity and all that. So some of these people, hey, Kenny Vargas, some of these people, George, are skimping on what they're doing because it saves them more money. So what they're going to do, like that one I've got, it is super thin. I can stretch it and it actually cracks. It pulls right back so you don't notice it, but it's not like another shirt that you can stretch and it doesn't show. But some of these companies are going thinner, which will give you that vintage look. It's going to give you like a distressed almost over it. The edges aren't going to be as crisp, and the ink's going to look kind of muted or blended in through the shirt where they didn't use the strong white underbase on it. Are you looking to just stub stuff out to do the print on demand? Or are you looking for another option on that stuff? One more thing. Do you have any good inkjet printers so I can do print and cuts for shirts? On that, Fernando, the problem is an inkjet printer, you're going to be printing on like a NEMA paper. And then that's where you would need contour cut. If you're going contour cut, though, depending on what you're needing, or depending on, because you got to look at the price of like the NEMA paper and the size. You're not always going to be able, for instance, to get like a 13 by 19. I mean, they do make big stuff. I never got good results on the print on demand. Did it before I started my own breakness and never got consistency. And so on that, Fernando, what you might want to look into doing, depending on what your time frame is and all that, you can get direct to film, which would be almost like it's going to feel better than the NEMA paper. And these cost per print can actually be very competitive, if not cheaper, depending on what all you're doing and what all else you're going to have to do. Because like this stuff, they can like leave the voids out and anything. So it's, you don't need to contour cut. It's printed exactly what you want. So you can get some pretty high quality results with it. The other thing too, because this falls into like how Greg is doing, I wanted to try Printful and Printava as a test for quality. While the prints are soft and do look like they have been washed tons of times. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Greg. That one shirt I have, it's very bad about it. And especially when you go with someone like the Printava and all that. Hey, Lily, how's it going? You end up with, because they're knocking that stuff out left and right. And I wouldn't say they're skimping corners, but they're trying to make as much profit as they can. So they're not going to do it kind of as well as someone you might find locally doing a print on demand with the direct to garment. The downside though, you're going to be paying like the premium that you're going to be paying for the direct to garment can be pretty high up there. And then the other thing too, you're going to be paying the shipping, as you know, for the garment and the the product. So like I said, not to say go to direct to film, George or Fernando, but give these a shot. If you want, George, my email is in the description down below. Shoot me your address, George. I'll send you one of these. Give it a shot. This, like I said, is just my logo. It's nothing fancy. Ran it quick, so don't worry about that. But it will give you an idea and feeling, because I will say this, they do not feel, even though it's the same ink as a direct-to-garment per se, direct-to-garment's printed right on the shirt, so it has that even softer feeling. Yeah, we're missing Denise. I know. She should hopefully hop on here soon. But the difference, though, George, is like Rise tried these. Rye can tell you these feel super soft. These feel, to me, they feel better than Super Color, and it's not that I got beef with Super Color. Hey, Graphics Warehouse, how's it going? It's the only reason I say these I like better than something like a Super Color. The price on these things, too, are like hard to beat. Depending where you get them from, the turnaround can be a little while. Doing donut challenges. I don't have no donuts tonight, so I can't do a donut challenge. It still kind of got to me, so. But what I would do, though, Greg, is probably try the direct to film and see how you like that. It might be more what you like or the feel of it. And the results with that stuff, because the nice thing, literally, Leonardo, how's it going? And the nice thing about them, though, like I said, like I got a stack sitting over there. I mean, you should store them in a kind of keep moisture away from them, but just kind of like you would any of the transfer. But I got them sitting there. They work fine. But you can get some pretty amazing results with them. The costs are going to be cheaper. So even like Fernando was asking, like where he's doing shirts. Where do you recommend buying a direct-to-film printer on that? Depending on what size you want, Fernando. First, here's what I would do on that, Fernando. Get some samples in. See if you like the direct-to-film, because you might not. I mean, not everyone likes them, and I'm just being honest. Just like anything, not everyone likes certain of the feels. Some of them don't like the texture. Some don't like the press time. And so with that, like I would get them in first before I just jumped and bought a printer, Fernando. Then what I would do is look at it this way. Get it in, see how many you're going to need to print. Because you can buy literally like the 13-inch wide printers here in the States from people. You can convert them. Converting them is not that bad of an idea. Are you in the States, Fernando? Just because I don't know what the name. If you're in the United States, Fernando, if you email me, I'll send you one or two of these samples. But I just shipping them outside the states is insane. Like if I got to ship anything across the border, they nail me an arm and a leg. Okay, yeah. Hit my email underneath there, Fernando, and then send me your information to the Waldo2413@gmail, and I'll send you. And so you can get a feel up for them, because, like I said, it's not everyone's gonna like them. It's a hit and miss thing. But if you do like them, like I said, you can get a like Kenny just says. Well, you could later on. You could use a. You could convert it a 7710. You're not going to get the white ink on that one because it's only 4 colors, but you could use the color ones for on white garments. You can convert. I don't know the model numbers. An L18, an L1800, 1390. There's some other ones. They're not popping in my head. Ship them via local mail and make the invoice and put in package shipping policy. Yeah. Lily, bye. He's going live with that guy that was his face. LOL. Sorry. I'm bad with names. That's fine, Lily. But yeah, Leonardo, like the thing with that is, like I said, because then with the printer, if you're wanting to print them, look at how many you think you're going to need, and look at the printer, see how many it can produce an hour. There are a lot of forums out there, and the thing with the like the 13 by 19s, they're all single head units. So with the single head printer, you're only going to be able to knock out, hey, G6, how's it going? You're only going to be able to print so fast with a single head unit. It's just, that's how they work. So that's why if you look at a lot of these people and you like see their shop that are printing them, they might even have like a 24-inch printer. They got a single head, and they've got like 3 or 4 printers lined up there. Because the thing too is when you figure out what you need, you can go 13-inch wide printer, you can go to 24-inch wide, you can go up to 48-inch wide. The wider it is, yeah, and see, I've got a 24-inch, and it's a monster in there, but mine's also a dual head. So the thing with multiple heads, it prints faster. And that's the thing too. So if like a 13 by 19 printer, you can use some of them to do roll prints with them. But if you're like, let's say trying to do fulfillments, it's going to take you a little while because you're only going to knock out so many. Yeah, George, the other thing, George, with the direct to film, you could do the same thing, test the marketplace, because what they don't charge you. It's not like Supercolor where you pay per print per se. You're paying for the sheet. So like you can gang sheets and put whatever you want. You don't pay extra fees. You can put 10 of the same price on one. You can do the sky's kind of the limit on it of what you want to put on that sheet and how many you want to put on. Their shippings are right around $15. It's a flat rate shipping. But like it's literally they ship them in the rolls. Like you buy them by the feet, like 100 feet of it if you wanted, all different designs. And so it makes it kind of very lucrative because you can get these down to fairly cheap per item. Like something like this, like if you're putting a bunch of these on, these are a bunch of left chest style prints, you can knock out a bunch of these on a small area. So you're like cost per, let's say I'm on a 13 by 19. I forget how many it ended up being, but it's like 20 or 30 of them on there. So you're looking at like maybe a quarter a piece or less. So you can really get these prices down really quick. Waldo, quick question on small label printers. What are your thoughts? They run around $6K. I really think they're good stuff, man. Because see the label printers, they're designed to do small production, or not small production, but like a lot of people want roll prints, something that, and this is just, these aren't roll print, but this is an example of something on a roll. So like if you're doing mass labeling on items, like right here, if you're doing these labels for these guys that were on here, you can't even see it because it's coded, but if you're printing the labels for them, the advantage of using that over a, let's say 4 foot or 6 foot wide, like Mamaki or Muto, large format printer. Large formats are good, but you're going to get a faster print with a small label printer because that's what it's designed to do. The other thing too is they have finishers with them. And the thing with the finishers, you can do the contour cuts. Now you're not going to do the punch out contours. So if your customer wanted each individual ones, there are ways to do it. But it's a little tricky. But if like you could still do the contour cut around it. So you could do like the circle one here, or you could do a shape, which I don't have no shape stickers here, but you could have it where it looks just like any sticker that people are buying. It's just going to be either on the roll and then you got to cut them down, or you can run it through and do the splice and leave them on like a rectangle and the image be contour cut. I think they're amazing. Production wise, you can knock stuff out. You can laminate them. You can get all the media that you need. And for like, if you're, let's say you're doing only a bunch of like 3-inch stickers, which that's a common size sticker. Doesn't have to be a round sticker, round, square, hexagonal, whatever shape you want. The little stickers you give out to everyone, like a sticker like this or whatever. That stuff, them machines are really superior at what they do in that. They're really quick. They're good. Here's an example. This is when you go with the roll printer or the large format. They ended up cutting them out after. Shape doesn't matter, but it's just slight difference. But speed-wise, too, the roll ones, because there are other things you got to get, like finishers and splicers and all that with it. But if you get all that stuff, it does really good. It does knock the stuff out really quick. And there's a very, like, especially like a lot of these people on here that's buy stickers to give away in a package. For especially doing that, that's the way to go. Because all you're going to do, it'd be something like this, which these are, don't use a color or anything. But if I was doing something like that, and then all I would do is like pre-cut them or pre-tear them, which these are tears in this paper. So you can buy that other paper pre-tear. I ripped it wrong. But anyways, you get the point about the tear. There are seams on this paper, believe it or not. But you can buy it to do that. You're not going to do a sticker this wide with them because they're not made for it. But if you're doing, like if you just want to do small run sticker stuff, like most your school athletic stuff where the parents put the kid's number name on the back, them are the printers to go with. Speed-wise, cost-wise, they're really good. Your large format stuff's amazing. I do like my big printers, but there's pluses and minuses to them. You're doing vehicle wraps all day long, man, you can't go wrong with them things. Because you're not going to do vehicle. You could technically, I guess, vehicle wrap and have each thing that wide. It'd be horrible and it wouldn't look good. But yeah, okay. So G6 says we do a lot of product labels for food vendors. Yeah, that roll prints G6. That is what you, or your G6 does that printing anyway. Oh yeah, I forgot G6. You got the big printer. Yeah, like for what you're wanting to do, G6, it will make it so much quicker. Because as you know right now, like if not, you're going to have to print on the wide one and then do a splicer on them things. Or you're going to have to print them sideways and splice them. Where a lot of the food people, they want it on a roll. Your logo looked different, even though sorry about that, G6. But yeah, if you especially, because a lot of people on the food market stuff, they want that. And you will find out in the sticker business, which you know how it goes. More people are happy with getting something like that and then just popping these things off in between if they need it that way. Or they're using a device anyways, an auto labeler where they need them on the roll. And you'll find it, I mean, I'm sure as you know too, and like even on that, you can convince the contour cut people to go with that style over using, instead of you have, like what you have to print yours, pull it off, laminate it. If you're going to laminate it, put it back in, and Mamaki will do the contour cut. But you can even get the contour cut people where you're still going to contour cut it, so like in the shape of like that banana and pickle, but you can have it weeded out so they can just pop the sticker that way. Hey, Denise, how's it going? So I would go at something like that. Depending on if you want a whole package G6, because they got the finishers. You can buy it in a bundle, get a finisher with it, or you'll have to get a finisher separate. And depending on what you're wanting, like Epson makes a nice one. There's a few other really good ones too. Some of them will come in a bundle with the finisher. The other thing too, that would be a big price savings for you guys, especially where you're doing like food vendors. They don't need the vinyl sticker per se. They just need like kind of like a like this. So it's a paper sticker, even though it's like a thermal one. They can you can get away. So that's even a cheaper cost per you. And you can still do the full color on that stuff, but you can give them like a paper sticker or a cheaper quality material because it's more or less a throwaway item, which on the food stuff, once they're done, it's getting discarded. So it's not like a sticker that you're putting on a window or something where you need to laminate it or have it last like 2-3 years, where they're using it as a disposable item. You can do that, and it will actually even increase your cost margins a lot more on that. If you remind me, G6, send me an email and I'll send you some people that I know. I'll try to pull up some more emails for you of the people I've talked to and the different printers that I kind of like and what I'd suggest. Because like I said, there's some really, really good ones that are out there. And especially for the small, like where you do a lot of these YouTubers stickers, a lot of them you can, like I said, you can still do that contour cut and then just literally you could even technically reload it into your Mamaki and have them just rip cut them after and fall into the catch after, and then just rebundle them up. Hey, what's up, JBM? How's it going? But that's something I would definitely look at. And then like too, the other nice thing too, if people are wanting the square ones, round ones, you can buy that media already done, so you don't have to get a finisher per se. Like, so if it's all food ones and they're printing them on the round ones, you just literally buy the size they need or buy the shape that they need and then run them out that way. And it's cost-wise, I mean, they're more profitable, them stickers are, compared to doing the large format printing on the stickers. Like I said, the only downside is like you can't do punch out contour cuts. So you're not going to have like just hand someone, which I don't have one sitting here. Because me and Rye were talking about the other day, and I thought I had stuff sitting here around here, but like, yeah, so you can't do that contour punch one. So you can't just send me a sticker like this one with nothing around it, which just is horrible. You could do them like this. But even like I said, most people are content with that. Like I said, you do have the people that want them contour cut ones. But another thing that I would do also, no problem, G6, that might help you too, which is just where we always talk about things, is we print, let me find something. So let me try to draw something real quick. I'm just going to draw like a rectangle. So like, let's say this is my contour cut sticker. What we do a lot too, we'll have that contour cut, that thing, but what we'll also do is we'll change the artwork a little bit. And we'll put like a little wing on it. And so what we'll do is we'll contour cut this whole thing out, and then we'll do another cut right here, a kiss cut, so that when they go to peel it, literally all they do is they hold their hand over that and bend it back, and it gives them a piece to peel off. And that is something too. It doesn't take, you know how it goes. It's still a contour and then a kiss cut. But if you do that, it's another little marketing thing or little upsell you can do to people. And because when you do the contour cuts, you don't have nothing to really get a hold of the edge. And so many people sitting there fighting with the edge. And if you do that, and then you just put like peel here, it's another little simple thing that you can put on the thing. And you can do it on any shape. You just got to figure out how it's going to be on there. And you can put it in any spot. But like here's like a splat thing, I guess you'd say. And you can put them on anything. It's another little upsell, and it's something too that makes it so much easier for the people that have stickers, how to peel them off. We do that, and like I said, if you want to, because that piece is discardable, you can put other information on there too. Like you can put peel here, but you can put like that company's name. You can put a barcode on there. You can do a lot of other things just to, like, you can put your information on it. But it's just a way to make them peel easier that are people that are wanting the full contour cuts. There are going two lives going on. Yeah, mine's always live, JBM, on Sundays. There's a lot of people that do have the live, so I thank everyone for showing up. I'm very appreciative of that stuff, so thanks, everyone. But, yeah, JBM, or G6, that's another thing to try. Because like I said, it's just it's a little things that people pay attention to, and if you offer that on the sticker, or you could upcharge it to that, or you could give it free, and that's one of the little things that when people's like, wow, that sticker, they even put that on there to make it So like it covers that price if you were a little bit higher, let's say, than a competitor sticker, because a lot of people are going to look and be like, hey, look at all this extra stuff they put into this stuff for quality. And like I said, it doesn't, the amount of ink that you put in that area, because literally you could even leave it, the white part, and just put peel here and then make that contour cup bleed just a little bit there. So you don't have to worry about it not having that edge right there. But the ink amount's not that much more. So like I said, it's one of them things that it's totally up to you on that. It's like I said, I think it does good. But like I said, it's kind of, sorry, I got like 400 messages right now. But like I said, that's something to, it's just while I'm live. Oh, but like I said, that's something else to try. I think it does good. It'll help the sticker sales. And like I said, but all that stuff too comes down to like some people just want the basics. Some people are happy with what they have. So like I said, on that, it's kind of, you don't want to go super crazy on it. Like a good example too, one of my friends, I told Rye about this the other day. I've done neon before and still to mess around with neon, like neon signs, neon tubes. One of my friends has a shop. Well, he was selling that part of his shop out, and we me and him always talk. He does commercial signs, so he does all your Dollar General stuff. I'm trying to think all the other he does all your major company stuff on signs. And we're sitting there talking, and literally he brought home more money on we were talking about numbers and all that. In his one shop, or the 1 year, he did 4 to 5 million in sales. On that 4 to 5 million, I'm like, man, that's not bad. And I was like, that's pretty good. And he was like, yeah, but he was like, here's the difference. He said, the year that I did barely $1 million in sales, he said, I brought more money home in that year than I did that $4 million year. And he said, just because the cost margins were so low. Because like when he was doing the stuff for like Dairy Queen or the Dollar Generals, he's like, the margins were so small on it. And he's like, you're driving people out of town. You would get to a place and something would break on that. So you have to find a shop to weld it or fix it. And he was like, the margins, he was like, I didn't make much money at all compared to the $1 million year where he's like, I brought a lot of money home. And so it's one of the things too, is like never underprice your product just to compete with other people. Because what happens too, some people will get low pricing like that. And he wasn't really that low, just the market kept changing. And so like literally like now he's revamped his stores and all that stuff. But it's changed a bunch because he was like, I'd rather have a smaller sale year and have higher profits and bring more money home for me and my family compared to, because on paper it looks nice to have, oh, look, I did 6 million in sales this year. But at the end of the day, it's how much did you profit? Because you could do $1 billion in sales, and if you only made $1, then it's just a number on a paper, and your bring home was $1. So remember that. Focus on the numbers and all that, and just try to make the most profit margins you can. And sometimes going after the big things don't always pay off either. Because, like I said, it was funny to talk to him on that. I mean, yeah, it'd be really nice, G6. There's some things here in Kentucky to do. I mean, we have Mammoth Caves and all the cave systems. Nashville's right down the road. But, yeah, it's one of the kind of crazy things because, like, I mean, he's got like 4 boom trucks in there. And I'm like, man, I've always thought your numbers were always amazing. And when we sat down just talking things, we're going to do some videos there too. You know, me and him talked about doing some videos because he's got some massive flatbed printers. He's got stuff that I wish I had. I mean, equipment-wise, like it's just insane. Flatbed cutters and all that. Some very impressive equipment. And so it's kind of, we talked about doing that. And like I said, even on the neon, his neon guy that he had died 5 years ago, his main one. And my workspace looks almost like yours does. That means you're productive, Denise. That's always a plus. But it was his neon guy died, and he didn't really have many people to do it because neon's a dying art. It looks beautiful. A lot of people go to LEDs or even the LED ribbon strip. It's never the same, and so you're never going to get the same look. I mean, a lot of people are content with it. And then on your signs, a lot of people go backlit LEDs instead of back in the day it was all neon backlit. But it's just one of the things that I still like messing with it. Repairs and all that. There's good margins in it. And the thing is, there's not many around. It's like I said, it's an art, it's a skill. You're bending glass, you've got to learn how to work with it. And that was a thing too when we were talking too, because he was like, man, I'd hate when we'd set up signs. He said we do, like he did the Dairy Queens, and all Dairy Queens around the outside got neon tubes. They're flat tubes, or what I'd call flat. It's just solid glass. You do your cutbacks on them, your rollbacks, your overlaps, and put your electrodes on it, but it's a flat bar. So literally you're taking your tube and you're just rolling the back or welding the two tubes together, making it so long, and then doing the cutbacks. But like he was saying, because how you got to pack and ship it, we would drive 2-3 states away. We'd get up there and there'd be like 2 tubes that broke, because how they ship it, it's fairly good, but they're craning the stuff onto the roofs and all that stuff, or where they're going to move it around. And he was like, we go to unpack it and someone bumps something, or they're crated up. So he's like, we take the top crate off, it slides into the box, hits the edge of the glass and shatters one. And he was like, then we're stuck trying to find a neon place around here. And he's like, now it's getting scarce where there's not neon sign making shops in every city. Some of them, it's even state to state, you got to go find. And so he was like, man, we're stuck either sending people back to the other shop trying to remake it and drive back, or we're stuck trying to find someone locally. So he was like, hey, we're slowly getting out. So we worked on the thing, and I purchased that side of the company. But it was just kind of one of the things that, like, I enjoy it. But like I said, it is something too, is always look at the margin, always look at what you do. Like I said, some things like that, I don't see it being productive for me to make signs, shipping them everywhere. Locally, there's a good market. And then for me, I like the stuff that I do. Like I said, even over there is one of my manifolds it's an extra one that I had. So can't just toss them around. So I just had it sitting there. We have lost a few customers due to the pricing from the Mamaki. So I've been looking at label printing. I will email you soon. Yeah. Thanks a lot, G6. Cause that's what I was saying. Like the speed too of a label printer, you can get your costs down on that. And because what they're going to need too, like the food people, they're not going to need like the long life vinyl that you're using. They're just going to need some basic stuff. So like I said, you can even get the paper, which is even a lot cheaper. And I mean, they might not need the paper. Like they might want to step it up a little bit, but there's other medias you can get that is still cheaper than what you're printing them on. So like some of them customers you could win back. And then like the costs on that stuff too, like I said, it's the speed, the cost, everything it's a big market. A lot of people I know, like the guy that I was telling you about just now, he's got a section of his shop that's all they do is small run label prints. And that's all that section's set up for. He's got the big printers, and he was like, starting out, if he was to buy equipment again, and he was like, if I was just doing small run stickers for kind of skateboard shops, sticker shops, whatever you want to call it, just the small stickers that you hand out at shows and all that stuff. He was like, if I was doing it again, he said I would start with small roll-to-roll printers and go that way instead of the large format. He said the large formats are not bad, but the speed's not there. And he was like, every printer's made for a thing. And even like a good example, like where you said, yeah, they're a lot of money. That's the other thing too. Like, I mean, you know how much the Mamaki is if you were have to buy it new. These small printers are expensive, but the cost compared to a large printer, they're a fraction of the price. And then, like I said, the profit margins are so much greater with them, or not that, but it's a good margins that you can make for that speed that you're getting it out. Because instead of now where you gotta, like, there's advantages to print cut, and then there's advantages to having a separate cutter. And you can go online. There's a lot of people that's done videos on it where, like, because they bring up the Muto was big at that, where they would do the video because Muto doesn't have a cutter attachment or a cutter built into their printers. And Muto did a thing, and they're like, and I think it was Sign USA that has the videos because that's one of their main brands that they push. And they're like, look, and they were comparing to Roland, though. So what they did is they're showing Roland doing the print cut. And then, like, in the one video, I think they even took it off to laminate it and put it back in. And they're like, look, we can print in this much more, because when they were done printing, they were throwing it on the cutter. Now, as you know, too, and this is the other advantage, too, of a roll printer, because you're using a different ink, you don't have to worry about off-gassing. So you don't have to worry about, like, the sticker shrinkage where you have that if you try to cut a sticker within 24 hours. Epson does have some newer inks for the Epson printer, so that you don't have to worry. They say you can get it knocked out in about 4 to 8 hours. Mike does have one, and he was saying they're a little bit quicker on the dry time, because the ink's dry, as you know, but ink shrinks up over time. So usually that's why, too, on a lot of the stuff, and here's a perfect example. Let's say we were printing and cutting these. If you were doing a full color bleed like this, you'd want to let the off gas sit. If you're doing like a solid white sticker and it's got a white edge, you can get away with it because that shrinkage isn't going to really affect as much if you're in a rush. I mean, I would still let them off gas before I did that. But if you're cutting it right to the edge and it's a full bleed sticker, that shrinkage, it can catch up to you in the long run. And then even on the lamination, that's why you usually want to wait a day to laminate it because of the off-gassing. The roll-to-roll printers, you don't have that issue with. So it's a very nice feature about them because they're using a different ink, so you don't have to worry about the shrinkage and all the other stuff. And so, like I said, the margins, too, you're able to get that stuff out quicker. But that was a thing, too, even when they did that video, is they're like, hey, look, we can run it right to the cutter right after. And they were just doing an open area, so they didn't have to worry. And by having a separate cutter, technically, once you're done printing, instead of going back and doing the cut, hey, Jesse, how's it going? They were taking that on there and running on the other printer. So technically, you're printing the job while the other one's cutting. So, yeah, it's going to be quicker. But that's the thing of when you go with the other one, the contour cuts on there. And like, I think there's an advantage. Like I said, the big thing is and you'll find out too, as you're noticing, you get a lot more people. Like, I mean, you get the people that want small stickers. I'm sure as you know, you probably don't have, you have people that want them, but you're probably getting more of what I'd call like the handout sticker people or the food stickers than you are someone coming in saying, I need a 24-inch wide sticker by 12 inches or something like that. Because then people, I mean, you do get them, but they're going to order like one sticker or two or three. Where the people that are ordering the small ones, they're ordering 500, 1,000. And that's where I have seen some label printers that have built-in cutters. Yeah, that's what I was saying. There are some that have the cutters with them. Now, and Epson does have the vertical cut on their one model, and I want to say, I'd have to look in their online. I thought they had one that it does basic shapes. Whatchamacallit, the house printing. He has one that will, the cutter is attached to it also. His is I can't think of the name right now, but his has a cut feature in it also. It just doesn't have the finisher with it. So it's not going to peel the binding off after, or the weeding it out after, which some of them, they would want it weeded, which you can find ways to do that. But depending the feature and all that. Hey, Harry, good night. It's good having you on here, Harry, and I'll get that sent out for you, man. But yeah, that's the other thing. 2G6 is like, now some of them are even as cheap as like $2,000. And like them ones are slightly different than the other ones, but it's another thing. Like for your food people, you can probably get them people, the ones that you lost, you could get them back on that pricing probably. And like I said, they're only going to need that sticker that shape anyways. And then you'll start getting customers that run into larger jobs that where they actually need them on the roll because they use label machines. So they're going to put that roll on there and literally just slap it out like on a barbecue sauce or something like that. And so eventually, like I said, you'll get to that market too, where these people be needing that. And I think it would definitely help you out that way. I think it's a good feature, like I said. So it's just kind of, it's another thing to look at. But like I said, it's kind of, it is what it is. Like I said, you can go either way. I mean, it's not like starting out, the large format gives you more versatility because you can print bigger stuff that you could never do with the smaller one. But once you start finding out the market, what the customers want, or what you're doing more of, the roll to roll or the roll printers are a lot better. Small format printers for that. And like I said, it just kind of depends on what you're working on, what you're doing. But like I said, it's something too, though. I will definitely get you. Let me make sure I got. Yeah. Yeah, that happened. I knew the market for label stickers were very profitable. Yeah. Because like I said, and it's when people get into it because they, even like I said, they think stickers and then they're like, hey, I'm going to go with this machine. And like I said, you do bigger objects, like for instance, yard signs. You can print yard signs with a large format. You're not going to print them with a small one. And so like, depending on the area you're in, I mean, like you can, the large one, you can do all the stuff you could with the small. It's just the speed's not there. And like I said, the speed is what makes them cheaper. And like I said, even the media, like, I mean, I don't know if you could even get some of them papers that you can get for the small format ones in a large format style. I mean, I'm sure there's a vendor that makes something that would run through them, but you're still not going to get that speed out of them either. So, I mean, it's, like I said, it's especially where you guys are doing pretty good right now. It's something definitely worth looking into because like I said, it can be very helpful. And it will probably, like I said, it will expand into that other market that you already have people in. It will just make it more profitable for you. And like I said, you might even be able to gain some of them back. Like I said, it's very good. Like I said, there's endless things. When we had my restaurant, like there's perfect route. Like we wouldn't even print our own on someone. We'd order them just because we weren't using a machine, but we had a little manual labeler, which would prop the sticker up. So literally we'd pull them off and just stick them on really quick. And we were using like a paper sticker on them just because it was like cookies and all that, which are stuff that when they're done, we're throwing away. So there's no need to put a quarter sticker on a 50-cent cookie. So like I said, they've got their things and they're definitely really, really good. So hopefully I have people on. I don't see many people on my thing. Oh, well, I'm going to do my normal lives like I always do. So how's everyone else doing tonight? Is there any other questions people got or? Yeah, the other thing, Leonardo, I'm using an i320 head on my, where you were asking earlier on the large format stuff. My printer, I ordered the 320s. Which here's one of the box. I do have the box right here. I'm using the i320s on mine. They're a better, compared to the other print head, they're a little bit more pricey. They're about $300 to $400 more per print head. It has a better ink droplet variance on them. and they tend to hold up a little bit better. Most direct-to-garment you get, though, or not direct-to-garment, but direct-to-films aren't going to run them just because you got to pay a premium for them. And most of the stuff, people are content with the single droplet size. George Lopez says, I was talking about a polyester t-shirt that feels like cotton that he used for sublimation. Going to go back and look for some of them videos. Do you have a one that you prefer? Gildan makes one that feels really close to cotton, George. And so a lot of people like that. On the white ones, though, I know the inventory was kind of hit and miss from depending what vendors you get them from. So they're not too bad. They're pretty nice, honestly. I mean, like, I have customers that, like, for instance, we had a lady that we were doing stuff for recently. She wanted that full polyester feel, kind of like, because she's like, I like how the dry fit stuff feels, but a lot of people do like that cotton feel. It just depends on the person. Like, these were hikers and all that, and they were really big on it. Mark Mohero 2. One transfers did me bad. It took like over 3 weeks to send me the order, and then some of it was done wrong. I'm still looking for a reliable DTF. Now, what you can do, Mark, give them a message on there and just talk to them, because they did what happened. They in India or Pakistan, the country was shut down. Like they were on lockdown, because we had some transfers too, and it took, normally it takes about 14 days, give or take, from start to finish with that to get into your door. But what ended up happening, they were on a shutdown, like the government locked them down. So message them, and because normally they're pretty good about it. I know I have another few people on here that's used them. There are some other good ones out there, but they're a little bit more pricey than the wand transfers. So it's kind of falls into that depending on which one you kind of like. I don't know if you tried other ones or not. I will say this: the wand ones I've had the best luck with, feel wise, and then cost wise. The other ones, like, I do have, they work good. I'm not going to say they don't. They're just a tad bit more pricey. So depending on the price margin that you're happy with, like Fusion makes a decent one. Fusion prints, theirs is good. They're about $1 to $2 more per sheet than the wand transfers. And then their colors, though, their color pattern, they're not as accurate as you would like. Like, so on a red, on an RGB red, it's 255. You're going to get an orange look if you use the red 255. So you got to use a different red. And I mean, they've got some information on their site, but they don't have a color chart. They actually charge you for a print color chart. And so it kind of, it varies on that. So like I said, you can try them. Like the wand ones, I've got more accurate colors than compared to the other people. But I will say this, like when you message them, they were pretty good at taking care of the people. We had one other person on here have an issue, and they literally took care of him and actually sent him a replacement one. just message them though. It's sometimes hard for them to get back because the time and all that. But when I had because I didn't know nothing about it, I messaged them like, "Where's my order at?" Because it was sitting way behind. And they're like, "Hey, this happened." I mean, he told me that what was going on, but if I wouldn't have asked, I'd have just been. They didn't send me an email before, and so like I said, they were a little bit hard to work with on that part. But and then the other person I know, she was having a problem with them. They took care of it and sent her some new ones. But you just have to message them and just kind of say what's going on. I messaged them, and the only time they responded was when I asked for a refund. They responded that day when I asked for a refund, and when I told them the order was bad, they didn't respond. My first order was good with them. What I'll do is I'll message them too, Mark, and just kind of see what they say to me, because they've been fairly responsive for me. There's, like I said, the few other people on the site that's ordered, they've been fairly responsive to them also. So, I mean, it's just hit and miss. So, I mean, like that company's not the language barriers. I mean, they speak English, but it's not the best. And they're not the quickest to get back sometimes. I guess because we were buying a lot from them, I guess they tended to get back to me a little bit better than they would some other people, which is bad on their behalf. But I'll try to reach out too, but send them another thing and just be like, "Hey, what do we do about getting this fixed?" Because they normally will try to work on that, because they're big on not losing customers and trying to take care of them. But yeah, like I said, definitely. Sorry, Mark, I'm getting a bunch of people. But definitely give them a shot. Like I said, or a message. If not, let me know too. Shoot me an email and I'll send you some other people that I've used. Like I said, like there's other ones out there. And like I said, the quality's not the other ones. The quality's good, like temp and time and all that's different. But like some of them, some of the places they do take a little longer. They don't respond as well, or they're like I said, the other place they're about $1 or $2 more per film size. And so, like I said, it's kind of it's not a bad thing that they're more, but some people would rather not have that extra price. They'd rather wait that little bit longer for that thing. I personally, I wasn't happy when they didn't tell me that they had the country shut down, because we had an order where we needed them, and so it really put me in a bind. But like I said, I can definitely understand and see how that goes. Like I said, just reach out to them though, because like I said, they're a little bit better on if you kind of sincere about it. Like I said, they don't like losing customers. Like I said, sometimes they're not quick to get back, or they just overlook the email. Because like I said, on me, they made sure because I was like, "Hey, we lost this order," and then we had an issue on the one, because right before they had the shutdown, they had an issue with the print head go out on the machine, and we had stuff that was banded, like it had banding on it. And there was another person. Mine wasn't bad, but the other person that sent me photos was really bad. So do that. Like I said, if it doesn't work, let me know and I'll try to help you out. Make sure you're taking care of them. Make sure you get someone that works good for you. Hopefully, I might be opening mine up. Like I have the printer. Hey, what's up, Mike? How's it going? I have a printer, so like I said, I might use mine. I just haven't really decided. So I've been kind of busy with all the other stuff. I don't know if I want to take on more orders or not, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, like I said, it's one of them things. I might, if we can fit some time in between. But yeah. So how you liking your printer, Mike? We were just talking about the printer. I got a question, Mike. With their ink dry time, is it that much quicker with the off gassing, or are you still having to wait that much time as you normally would compared to the other solvent ink printers? Yeah, the newer one. Yeah, your new Epson. Seems quicker, but I still give it at least a full day more than. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, Mike, because we were talking about. I knew before you said, well, even in their video, they say it's quicker on the off gassing. You could do it the same day, and I didn't know if you actually done a test to see, like on a contour cut bleed, to see if it actually how bad it was if you did it that day or if you had any issues. I was kind of interested myself, so I didn't know if you did any tested. Yeah, I'm kind of like you on that, Mike. I'd rather wait to 24 hours, be safe than sorry. I just knew Epson was big at pushing that in their videos about the rate of it and everything else. Are you liking the color profile with it, Mike? Does it seem to be hitting the colors really good? Print the banner, trim, and finish in like 10 minutes. That's not too bad then. As far as doing the contour cut on an unlaminated decal, still get a little edge curl if you cut it quick, but only a few hours and it's good. Well, that's definitely good to hear that because, like I said, I mean, Epson makes good stuff. I mean, they're cutting edge on their stuff. So when I seen that new printer, and then I heard about their ink though. I just couldn't see how they're gonna. I mean, ink is ink, and I mean they make ink. So I just was kind of wondering how quick they were really honest about that, or if it was just something in kind of in their test where you can knock it out that quick, but it's really not going to be as good. Do you like it better than your Muto, or did you like your Muto better? Printer as a printer as the large dryer, then printer also has a large dryer than the Muto. Muto to the world. I like my Mamaki better than the Muto stuff. Leonardo, it's just me, but now the Epson, I mean, I'm interested. I just never had the Epson since I've seen them, but especially this new one that came out, I haven't seen one up close on the new Epsons. But Epsons, when I seen their stuff, I've always drew interest on the Epson because Epsons are pretty good on their stuff. I mean, Muto's was nice because smaller, but otherwise Epson's been great. More flexible, cheaper ink. We'll see, like the Epson stuff though. I mean, I've seen a lot of good reviews. I mean, Epson's they've got the game on lock on some of their stuff. But it's just kind of one of them things that Epson carries. Rail fails too fast. Way easy maintenance on the Epson also. So have you heard any of the rail rail fails, Mike, or? Haven't heard the issue from any of the S series owners. Yeah, G6 is big on Mamaki. Like, I love all my Mamaki stuff. I bleed purple, I guess. I do have some just different stuff, like where you were asking before, Mike. I do have a printer. I did an unboxing video, but it's still in the box right here. I have that little small UV printer right here. The videos are coming out soon, so you'll have to keep an eye on it, Mike. But the worst thing, Mike, was which they sent me another one, but everything came. They even put like a little maintenance kit. They don't ship ink with it, so you got to get the ink separate. But here's one of the issues that they're sending me another one, so I'm not complaining. But they sent me this little dude, which is a European plug. So that had to be fixed. But other than that, Mike, I mean, it's going to be in some videos. Like I said, I'm sure I'm sure it's going to hold for the price that I paid on it. Sorry, Greg, no donuts. Greg just texted me on the donut thing. I need to make time and do some more videos. I have 2 more Transit 250 wraps coming up. And when the head fails, you need Epson text to unlock. What's that thing doing, Robert? That thing is it's a UV printer, Denise. So I can print on because what it is, it uses a UV light to cure the ink. So the ink dries instantly, so you can print. I don't have a round attachment for it. You can get one. So literally I could take like a tumbler, put it in there and print the ink all the way around it. But UV ink is used for a lot of things. Like I've got a lot of other product, like for instance, like the boxer briefs and all that, where I'm going to do the jigs. I'll probably like have my name lasered it or either lasered or figured out. Please do, Greg. Greg was talking about doing a donut challenge for me. But you can use it for a lot of things. Good example. Let me grab these. This is an old set. You could do something like this. You could put these in here and print UV part on, or the print on here. So you can do like flat, you can print on glass, you can print on pretty much any object material, but you could print onto the stuff so it's on there and it's not coming off. So because normal solvent ink, if you don't laminate it, you can get it right off. UV ink is pretty stout ink, but it cures under UV light. And it's just another process. Like, so it prints white also. So you can print a white background on it. You can, like I said, so you can print on glass, you can print on granite, you can print on tile, and you print directly to the object. So all the pens that you have, which this pen was laser etched, but any pen that you have writing on, you can actually print directly on that. There's a lot of stuff you can use them for. They're like, and a lot of this stuff's been pad printed or screen printed, like this thing. But you could actually do all that stuff. Like you could lay this in there and print on it. A good example, you could print like a phone case. You could print on a phone case, or you could print directly onto the phone. So, and like I said, or golf balls. A lot of people use them to do golf ball printing. Is something that just popped in my head. But you can print just about on any surface. And it's on there. It's good to go. It doesn't come off. It doesn't scratch off. It's very stout stuff. So it's kind of something different. I got it to a lot of the videos, but like you can print on shoes, you can print on leather. You can print directly to the stuff. And like I said, it's got white ink. But the difference between like that and a direct-to-garment printer, let's say, a direct-to-garment ink isn't going to print. You could print on leather, but you're not going to print on glass with it. The other thing too is the ink is less vulnerable. I mean, it's got to stay in the black case. I'll show you these right here. Like, and where normally you'll see your ink in your ink lines, these are spare parts they send you. They're all black hoses because normal light gives off UV light, ultraviolet light, which that's what cures this ink. Now, it's got a higher light, so it cures it almost instantly. But like even the dampeners are black. But the advantage of it is, like I said, it cures instantly. And you can print like we're on the direct-to-film or direct-to-garment printer. You're not going to print like on plastic with it. You could maybe find a way, but the heat and all that to get it on there. Or with this, literally, even like, for instance, like a golf ball, you just make a jig to hold it up and you just print it across the top. You're good to go. Pens, you make a jig so that they all lay in there and you just run like your name down the side. It prints onto them really quick and the ink's good to go. And you can do the full color. So like the only other way, like on this, was probably done with the pad print. So it's one color, and then you can do multiple layers with pad prints. But this does it. It's using a printer method, so you can do the full colors really quick. You can see both printers on some of my YouTube videos. Yeah, Leonardo, there's a few people that have latex on here. The print house, which he's not on right now. The print house runs a latex printer. There's a few others. Like every printer and every print that's out there, there's goods and bads about everything. Like for instance, sublimation ink, or not sublimation, but solvent ink, like we were talking earlier. The off gassing, the time it takes. The thing with latex ink, you need a lot more heat, so you got to use media that can handle the heat. A lot of the media can handle it, but you do need that as part of the thing. So that's one of the drawbacks with that. The print heads are super cheap on a latex printer compared to a solvent ink printer, or a latex printer, or a UV printer. A UV printer, like a high-end Muto flatbed, or just the Muto printer, they're using a Rico print head on their UV printers because it's very corrosive in it. Yeah, and like Mike said right there, the other thing is power wattage. You're gonna need 220 usually on a latex printer. The print heads are super cheap on latex printers compared to a normal print head, though, because they're a disposable item. They're not going to last the life of that printer. They're designed to be used so much prints and then thrown out and put a new one in. Yeah, and like Mike's just following, like literally he's saying it as I was saying it. Yeah, but replacing the latex print heads often. Yeah. So like they all got advantages and disadvantages, like cost of ink, for instance, per liter or per print. Like if you're looking at print stuff, UV can be some of the cheapest. The downside about UV is like your ink's got to be kept in stuff kind of like all blacked out. You can't have it in direct light. You got to be careful too when the print head goes back near the docking station. If you're printing a lot right near there, you can get literally it will cure the ink on the capping station. So like yeah, like Mike just said right there, you replace like HP head almost every month, and I think they're $100 to $300. I can't remember. I mean, it's a thing where the cost value. Like everything has advantages and disadvantages. The nice thing about latex, you print it, you can send that stuff out that day to cut, do whatever you want, because laminate it. How much was he printing though? Yeah, well, and that's the other thing too. Cool, where the amount of prints will determine how long a latex head lasts. But like I said, they all got pluses and minuses. I mean, there's not one superior thing that's the cheapest ink, cheapest parts, longest life. So you've got to determine what works best for you, what you're needing, what your market is, and what you want to do. Like a good example, if you're doing, let's say, and this, I got one sitting here. That's the only reason I'm bringing this up. Let's say you're doing coffee cups. You can sublimate these. They do sell sublimatable cups. But here's the other kicker. Let's say you don't have sublimatable cups because they cost more money. You can put UV ink onto them things and they'll stick. And then UV stinks and smells. Be careful, Waldo. Yeah, I know it's got a smell, but there are advantages to it also, though. Like, I mean, but it's one of them things. It just depends on sorry, reading this other text. It just depends on what you're wanting to print, what works best for you. Like I said, I got the latex, honestly, just to do some videos with it. I really want a big, large format. I don't want to spend that money. And so this was stuff, I got a lot of small items that I do need to work on. And it actually will fit perfect. Got some new jigs and all that coming out. So instead of, like I have laser machines, but instead of lasering all this stuff, laser takes too long. The other thing too, depending on what plastic you're using, like I might use some PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Can't laser PVC, it'll kill you. It gives off chlorine gas. There are ways to do it, but it's not really safe. So the advantage of using something like the latex or the UV printer, I can print flatbed, so I can make jigs all day long and not have to worry. The other thing too is, yeah, like Nova Work just said, he nailed it also. The color too, you're not, and I don't have a latex, so I can't say firsthand. I just know what my rep says, and he sells all the stuff. So he's not telling me that because he doesn't sell it. Latex, you do run into, like if you're trying to color match, you will run into color matching issues on repeatability. You can check it and keep adjusting it throughout, but it's not like first run to last run is going to be the same color. Or this month, the next month, the same color. You will run into color issues on latex. Now they do have that, HP does have that little sensor on it to kind of calibrate it each time or do a calibration. You pay extra for that one. So it's one of them things. It just depends on what you're looking for. I mean, like the media too, it's not that it's that much more, but you do have to run media that can handle that extra heat. So you can't buy like a super cheap vinyl, like kind of like where G6 was talking about. I also need to learn how to make my own color profiles. Yeah. On that G6, I mean, there's a few things. You can also use a calibration tool. It matches your screen, matches your printer, and all that stuff. Quality UV beds can be over 50 for a 4x8 in an hour. Print over 50 4x8s in an hour. Yeah. And like I said, that's the other thing too. Like I said, I mean, they all got advantages and disadvantages. The downside about UV, I mean, besides the smell, is the cost. They're not, I mean, you can get something like this, but in general, like if you're getting a large format thing, or even like I like Mamaki. I'd love to have that Mamaki UV printer. It's about $5 to $8 more than their other one. And then the one I really want with the white and varnish, I think it's like 10 or 12 grand above the normal printer in that same category. So, I mean, the price, you got to also factor in what you're looking for, what you want. But the nice thing, too, you can do the varnish print, which gives you like that gloss over. So you can build up and do three-dimensional stickers with UV. You can't do that with any other printer. So you can kind of do the stack up. Yeah, and like Mike said, even the desktop roll-in UV is $20K. So like I said, it's kind of one of them things. Like I said, everything has its pluses and minuses. I wear a 3M mask using nothing large mask like professional. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like you do have to worry about ventilation on some of the stuff because some of the stuff stinks. So it's not good to breathe either. It's not safe to breathe. So if you're in that industry and you're using this stuff, you definitely want to be careful. Just because of that, because like I said, you could be getting into using stuff that is really toxic and not good for you. Like I said, I have a way that we were cutting laser. We were lasering vinyl records. And like I said, vinyl records are PVC, which is polyvinyl chloride. And so when it is cut, chlorine gas is given off. They are very bad, very toxic, very unsafe, and can kill you. So we built a filtration thing where a respirator mask that's rated for that. But in general, that's why I won't usually probably ever post them videos, because if someone goes out with the laser, the other thing too, chlorine gas rusts everything. So you will destroy a laser in a matter of a month cutting with that, just because what it does. There's no way to fix it. There's nothing about it. You can't really coat the things. There are coatings you could put on, but you got to remember that gas is floating around in there. So there's no way to coat the whole inside, like the sheet metal cage and all that, because like you could have it powder coated, but if it finds a way to get underneath that powder, it's going to do that and rust the metal. So there is no cure-all, fix-all for it. The laser, when we were doing it, we were literally upgrading parts every month on it, tearing it apart. We were doing that much where it was worth it, but it's something too is you just always got to look at that stuff and kind of say, hey, is it worth it? Is what's not? Is it safe enough to do that? Because you'll find out really quick what works best for you and what's not good to do and what's the safest, and then kind of figure out what the value is of how much your life's worth on that, and then what works best for you and how much money you should put out on that stuff. Leonardo, Mamaki UV JV3 is cheaper and better than the Roland. Yeah, I definitely agree on that. The Mamaki, like the Roland makes that small, which JVC or Mamaki's got that one too. It's not the JV3 though; it's something else. Because Mamaki's flatbed is, like Mike says, the JV3 is not their flatbed one. They do have a flatbed one, and it's there's like, well, was it Condi or not the Condis, but it's Consent or whatever. They make a nice flatbed one too, a small one that's cheaper than the other one. Digitech makes one also. There's a few other ones that are out there. Like I said, depending on what you're wanting to do, you can get, like, I mean, for instance, like that Roland, is crazy expensive. Now, granted, it gives you the rotary attachment. This one does not have a rotary attachment, but I could probably buy almost 20 of these to one of what the price of the Roland little desktop unit is. So you always got to factor that in on some of the things, what you're wanting to do, what the price margins are. Because the other thing too, are you going to if you're doing a roll print, you can use the varnish. Do you always need that varnish to build that 3D up? So if let's say you're only printing pins or golf balls, you don't want to varnish a golf ball there. It's going to make it out of balance and spin different. A pen, you just want the ink on there, so you don't need a 3D texture feel on it. My guy in Japan has one for $35K, but wants to travel from at Nova. And like I said, and that's the thing, like I said, it's that's why I got this. So just to show people some of the other products that are out there, lower end products, and kind of do a test review to see how they hold up. Give you guys a rundown so you guys can see for yourself of if you like it or don't like it. Because like I said, I mean, not that I don't want someone else to spend the money and buy it, so I didn't have to do the review, but no one else seems to be doing that. And I'd rather do that if it works. It's a win-win. If not, I'm the one out the money, not everyone else. And like I said, but the thing too, what I've been doing, which the YouTube money didn't pay enough for that, but what I do is like literally I do use my YouTube money to pay for the stuff. So that's kind of, everyone give a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's one of the things, like I said, it's kind of, I want a 3-2 hybrid UV, no white. Yeah, and then like I said, that's the other thing too. Some people don't want the white or don't care about the white because they're only going to print on like a white object or an object that you don't need the white underbase. It's kind of one of them things, like I said, I wanted the white. I really wanted varnish on it too. This one doesn't. It has the extra channel, but how it's set up, it's using the double white on that channel. So it's splitting it down and doing two whites. There is a way to separate it, but he didn't have the software that would run it correctly. So I went with the way he had it. So it's two white channels, CMYK. But like I wanted the white just because like doing on glass, I want to be able to print on glass or on some granite stuff. Waldo, do the Apex. But like I said, it's something too, like I said, it's just there's a lot out there. And like I said, and even like, I mean, you know how I talked about it, Mike. I've talked to a lot of people, Leonardo and all that, about some of the different things that either I was getting or going to get. And it's one of them things that like for the price, like for instance, what some people are needing in their shop, kind of like even like for you, Mike, where you don't, I mean, I'm sure you'd want bigger than a 13x19. And there is a bigger one that I was going to get, but I wanted to try this first. But for stuff that the size that these are, like I said, for a lot of the smaller, what I'd call craft or novelty items that you're going to be printing on, these will work for that size. So you can kind of come out ahead on it. And like I said, it's kind of something that a lot of people see, but they don't want to spend the money on and try. Yeah, that right there, G6, that's the one I was talking about. That thing's insane. The UC JVC 3000, 1600, you can do 5 layers with that in the UV. And like I said, that thing is awesome. Like that is one of the printers I would like to have. And probably the next 2 years I'll buy whatever their newest model that is, because sometimes that model might be around when I get it, but whatever their newest one is of that, that's kind of what I'm looking at getting. I'm kind of hooked on, like I said, I'm hooked on Mamaki on that stuff. And like, not that everyone wants like a 3-dimensional vehicle wrap with texture, but I just think there are a lot of stuff that texture doing on it like the build up to 5 layers. There's a lot of very interesting things about it. You can do like the soft print, you can do the hard print. The downside about that's their flatbed roll printer. They're not flatbed, but it's their roll printer. So like on that, you're not going to print on leather. But like even their other little flatbed printer they have, the UV. And that's the nice thing about it, because like literally if you are printing, let's say on purses or something like that, that's where that layer stuff comes in. Kind of you can be really cool with that, because you could print like a yeah, like that price is right around what I was gonna say, about that 2830G is about what that price was on it. G6, as I was gonna say when I was looking at it. And like I said, the only advantage, like I said, of the other one is like if you print on, let's say, leather or shoes, you can do a build up, do a texture print, or purses, like a good example. I mean, it's not that people are bring you a person to print it, but if you're doing customizing stuff, like I said, let's say you had a Gucci purse or Louis Vuitton purse, you could have that textured print on there, and just there's a lot of cool stuff you could do. A lot of it is just for show because people aren't going to buy that or pay for that, but it does have its points. I think it's got some good points or good markets for it. So I do think it's definitely worth it. One second, guys. I got to check something. But sorry. I love Mamaki, but going to Orlando show just to see the machine. Yeah, like that's the thing is, first printer was a Mamaki in my large scale stuff. I have had Mutos. I've had a lot of other stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I've always just liked Mamaki. I like the purple, Team Purple. And then the other, I guess, here's one of the major reasons for me, though, why I like them over some of the other companies, is there is a rep or a place right down in Nashville from me. And so that's my local tech store. That's my local place. I might do some videos with them. They do loads of videos anyways. But like, yeah, like in G6, so they have the Georgia place. We went to the one in LA. They all got the print. That's what I was going to say. If you want to see the printer, like literally their Nashville shop, it's all set up. You can go in there and they'll show you. They'll run stuff for you all day long. When I was doing a laser engraving for the derby covers for the motorcycle people, we looked at, and that's when they just came out with that flatbed printer to do the colors on it. We looked at that, and they did samples for us. And the nice thing was, then that's when we were going to like the trade shows. They were at the trade show, and we seen them, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in this technology. They're like, bring one tomorrow, we'll print it for you. Literally, they printed right on the spot on chrome, high polished chrome. The artwork stuck, worked really good, was very impressed. And then I was like, where's your, like, because that's when they didn't know they were in the Nashville one. Then they're like, yeah, we're right here in the city. We have places all over. I went, and then literally after that, I've been to the place 2-3 times. They've got all the equipment you want to see by a lot of their vendors, but a lot of the Mumaki stuff is all setting up in there. And you schedule, especially since COVID, you got to schedule an appointment now, but they will schedule it and let you go in there and kind of see the prints. They'll run some prints. They're not going to run a vehicle wrap for you, but they'll run some stickers for you. They'll show you printing on hologram stickers with UV, doing texture print. Like they've got the Spider-Man print in there where the Spider-Man web's all done up. But they are really good, though. I mean, like I said, they tend to do good. I have no beef or no complaint. And like I said, I kind of like them. There are and that's like what I was saying too. There are other printers, like I said, you can try. I've got Chinese printers on everything that I've tried. You do see a quality difference on some of the stuff. The other thing too, though, not everyone can go out and buy some. Like I said, like the ones almost 30,000. That's kind of, like I said, the next one I am going for. But it's kind of too, I just show people because, like I said, when people are getting started, National Place sells latex. I'm looking and going to get one. Just print my things though. Yeah, Cloudware. That's the thing. The National one Mamaki even has a latex one, but they've got the HP latex printers there because they're a printer distributor. So like they don't just have one brand there. It's not a Mamaki warehouse. They're a shop, a distributor so they carry multiple things. So that's the awesome thing about it, like about that shop, is they're going to be honest with you. Like they're not going to be like, yeah, they're reps for all these companies, but they're going to try to get you the best thing for your price when you're there. Because the other thing too, they want you to come back. They want you to get service. They want you to get text there. And I'll say this, when I had my JV3, my JV3, super old, that thing would be 20 years old probably right now. I had that thing, and before I upgraded to like the 33 and all that, that thing was already like outdated on software and all that. But I had issues, and they would still take care of that thing up to the end. Now, the only issue that we did have was there was only like one tech out of the Nashville shop that knew how to work on the old ones, but they were always good about that. Like I said, and it was one of the things, like trying to find a tech to work on that. And I mean, granted, you're going to pay the tech price. It's no matter what, you're going to pay their traveling fees, the minimum of 3 hours, but they were always good about that stuff. Kind of, they didn't do me wrong on anything. That's all I'll say. They're really good. I will continue to buy from them. Like I said, I'm going to try to sit down and do some videos with them. They don't give me no discounts or deals or anything. So and then on stuff like that, it's not like some of these other companies where they'll give you a promo code. On that stuff, kind of, it's not like people are buying 100 of them a month or anything. So they're kind of, what they are is what they are on the price. So a lot of these places won't do deal. I wish they would. But they are great people down there. I see that. Good. Then I'm just like 2 hours away. What's the name of the other place that you can look them up? Cloudware. I will have to pull it up because it's like a 3-letter name. Any other time I could have told you it. Let me. PSD. It's called PSD Cloudware. But like I said, they're great guys, great people. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, it's the PSD. I knew it was the 3 letters, and it's a black and red logos. They actually have YouTube videos. The Nashville one does a lot, and then I think their North Carolina one does a lot of videos. North, South Carolina. It's one of their coastal ones. But all in all, they're great people, great guys. Check them out. Like I said, they don't give me no discounts. You can mention me. They probably don't even remember me just because I don't buy a new printer every year from them. But they are great, great people. Yeah, psdequipment.com. Thanks so much, Mike. And like I said, they make awesome stuff. They can service a lot, any of your equipment, rolling and all that stuff. So like I said, they're not biased one towards the other. They'll give you their best opinion on it. They do trade in on equipment a lot of times. So, I mean, you might be able to find a used equipment there. It's not too often, and like I said, it's something to check out though, guys. I mean, they're cool people there. Do great work. I think they'll even print for you. You have to check with them. Yeah, like G6 said, they make great content. Yeah, and that's the thing, G6. I'm one of the people that I was telling you that they do make content. And when I've talked to them before, that's what got them. I wouldn't say I did it, but when I was talking to them, I was like, you guys are distributors and there's not much content out there for Mamaki. And then when we started talking, they started doing more and more stuff. And they're really big at covering all the stuff because just like anyone, I mean, it's not just to get monetized for the money, but they know it helps their sales because when you type like Mamaki printers in or the UV printer on Google right now, I'm willing to bet on that front page is going to be them that pop up because they're one of the few people that do videos on all this stuff. And they do pretty in-depth details on it or explain it. And like I said, they'll do videos on like how to do the contour cut on that using that printer with the reflect, like if doing hologram print. So they show you how to block out the image and print white over it so that the registration will pick up. They do things like that that most people, once you buy a printer, they're not that they don't stand behind it, but a lot of them aren't going to make a video and post it on YouTube because they just don't on the high-end printer stuff. It's kind of like high-end printers are like embroidery. You're not going to find many videos on there to run you through how to fix the machines or work on them. It's just kind of one of them things that I don't know why they don't, but they don't. And you're not going to find loads of people putting videos out there either. It's just one of them things that people don't do that. I guess too, because people, when you have a print head problem on one of them things, print heads are $1,000 to $2,000 for a print head, and they don't want to do a video of them ruining a print head on video. Some of them have 2-3 print heads in it, so there's a lot of reasons why I understand people don't make their own videos with them, or they don't maintenance them themselves. Like if you do a print head and you've got to get into, like on a Mamaki, you got to get into their back end system. It's not one of the front controls to do alignments and all that. A lot of people would rather just pay the tech. And then so a lot of people, when they do that, they're not going to record the video because the tech's doing it. And so they're not going to record it and put it online. The techs aren't going to record it because that's how they make their money. So that's the thing too about it is companies like that. Like I said, now PSD doesn't show you the tech stuff like that, but they'll show you how to do cleanings and all that stuff, maintenance. And they'll go over stuff that way. But I will say this on my JV3, when we are trying to get the tech out, and then at the very end, before it completely was done with that printer, they walk me through the steps just because it saved me from actually paying a tech fee. So they will help you out more than some of the other places I've dealt with. They're good guys all the way around, though. Check them out. Like I said, I don't get no kickback, don't have no coupon code for you guys, but they are good people. But like I said, that's another one to check out. But like I said, hopefully that helps you guys out. We're going on 2 hours. So I'm thinking I'm going to probably hop off here, guys. If there's no other questions, like I said, if you guys got any questions, let me know. But if you guys do have any questions, like I said, post them. I'll try to answer them. If not, shoot me the email like G6. I'll send you the stuff. Shoot me the email, and I'll try to get you that information. Like I said, thank you guys so much for subscribing. Thank you for following. Please continue doing what you guys do because of you guys I make the videos. If not, I wouldn't be making videos. So thank you guys so much. Hey, Pam, you're still here. Thank you so much. I didn't know who was here, Pam. I see my count's kind of low, and I guess everyone jumped ship on me tonight. So I wasn't sure who was still here, Pam, or not. Like I texted Rye a minute ago because Rye hasn't commented where he was on here earlier, and he never texted back. So I guess he hopped off a long time ago, and I'm assuming a lot of them did, or they went to the other people. Yeah, I know you're here, Mike, because you've been commenting all that. I know G6 is here, Leonardo's here. cool wares here. I know we've got a few on here. Right now it's showing I've got 6 viewers, so. But it's kind of like one of the things, Mike, like where I was getting the laser for. Yeah, Rod's wife, don't let him out after 8 p.m. Yeah, I know. Like one of the major things I was getting it for is like even like the shirt jigs, Mike and Rise hanging out with one. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. It's YouTube. People can do what they want. Doesn't bother my feelings. But like what I was saying, Mike, is in G6, one of the reasons, like kind of like shirt jigs and all that, and any other jigs that I've been working on and other stuff with which I've screen printed UV ink also. So you can screen print these. That's what one of the videos I was going to do, is show you how to screen print on the plastic. But like I can't do full color images like CMYK. There is a way to do that with UV ink on a screen printing. It's just very difficult because you got to cure the ink. You can do like, it's not nothing I've mastered, so I don't want to try to mess with it. And I don't have that much UV printing that I need to do that way. But the stuff I do need to UV print, I need full color. So that's why I got that little one, just to do that stuff. And I think for what I need to be done, I think it'll work perfect. Like I'm not going to do loads of glass. I don't have that much glass. There's just a lot of little things that I need to be done, and like fixtures and all that. Not all jigs, because heat press jigs, you don't want to use that anyways, but jigs that aren't going to be under the heat, but I do need to print on it. And then I do private label stuff for people. That's what I've got that for, to more or less do stuff like that I couldn't do on my other equipment. Like I said, I do have my, I can't even think, my direct to film printers and all that. I have almost every kind of printer I can think of that I will, not every kind that I want, but I have a lot of the printers that I want. But that's why I do that, just so I can try to do some of the little other things. Like I said, I'm not planning on doing tools, but we do a lot of stuff for even like the Corvette Museum out here. And there's a lot of little intricate things that I can use that for on there that I don't have a way to do it right now. Like an example, printing keys. It's not a big thing. It's not like people want 1,000 keys printed, but you can print the top of keys. You can do things with it that I couldn't do elsewhere. Get a rotary. Yeah, I plan on getting the rotary mic. I might even do a video on just making a small one. The guy is supposed to have a rotary attachment for it. He hasn't got it out yet. And honestly, the cost to have something shipped, like I will say this, Mike, from when I ordered it to when I got it in was less than a week shipping it. And that's kind of like, some of the upcoming videos will go over the price, but that was including the price and the shipping. The DHL ship it that quick. Came in a crate that's, I don't know how big the crate is. It's 2.5 feet, maybe by 2.5 feet by, actually it's more. Maybe, yeah, 2.5 by 2.5 by maybe 1.5 feet. But yeah, the shipping alone, they DHL'd it. And when it shipped on a Thursday. It landed in my state on that Monday, and I had other stuff that shipped out from China also that time. And for some reason, that one didn't make the flight from Ohio to Nashville till the next day. So it showed up Wednesday. My other product showed up that Tuesday. So, yeah, it was here that Wednesday. Yeah, what I'm going to do, Leonardo, is literally, because that's what most of them are, just the 2-wheel or the 2-roller sleds. You mount them rigid on the thing so the table moves the rollers, rotates the object. I might just make one or try to. I mean, confident I could if I just sit down and do some measurements, figuring it out. But yeah, like, and if he gets the fixture done soon enough, I might buy that also. It's just the shipping from over there. It's kind of pricey for one item like that. I mean, if it was a whole printer and he put it in the box, yeah, it's not a problem. But just shipping that sled, that's probably less than $100 for that item. I would probably pay close to that in the shipping. So I think I'm going to go and maybe just make one or a retrofit. I'll figure something out on it. Saw rollers at Harbor Freight. I will check that out, Leonardo, because literally, I mean, it's simple to do the rollers. Literally, you just roller bearing, contact wheels, O-ring around them, and then you can make them adjustable so you can slide it left to right. I mean, but everything about it's not hard. It's just setting down, building it. And I have some of the old rollers. I even got some of my laser rollers, but some of them are hooked up with servos. So you can retrofit it. I could probably patch into the table feed also because it plugs right into the motor. So I could probably do that also. Even on that is just make it plug into because these are stepper motors, so it's a 4-pin output. I could probably do something like that. There's a few different ways, or I could just use the roller mounted on the table, fix it so that the table feeds itself. So when the table rolls, it's moving the wheels concentric to the pattern. Well, see, you're not losing you're losing the one axis, Mike. You're losing the X or the Y. You're losing your Y axis because your X is going to be your print head. But yeah, the distance is a factor. But a lot of them are overcome because a lot of them, when you put the attachment on, from what I've been talking to the people, you don't have to use a rotary attachment in the printer output. A lot of them they're calculated by wheel diameter, wheel roll. But yeah, some of it is important too, though. It is matter because that's going to determine how much an object's going to roll from surface area to diameter. But at the end of that too, you're only measuring if you're keeping your distance off the print head height, so everything's at the same height. Your diameter of roll is going to balance out pretty much close. But yeah, there's a few things about it. Like I said, it's just figuring out which way to go. Like I said, I might wait till he gets his done. Because I really don't have that much time either just to mess around and make things, but we shall see. But thanks again, everyone, for hopping on here live. It means a lot to me, guys. Thanks for all the support, everything you guys do. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Yeah, it's the same as a laser mic, so they're just because on the laser you're doing the same output thing. Like I said, a lot of them you're using the rotation on it on the thing, and it's just rotating the gear. Your head height adjusts the balance difference. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Coolware. Thank you, Leonardo. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, everyone, for being on here, guys. If you guys have any questions, you know how to hit me up. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night, guys. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate all you guys. And thank you guys. Which stickers and from who? Yeah, but thank you guys so much. I don't know which ones you need, Coolware. But yeah, email me, Coolware, and I will try to help you out and answer as much as I can. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a blessed night. Thank you. Thank you so much, Denise. Good having you guys all on here. Have a great night, guys. I'm out.